We're getting no support on this national crisis, and we're receiving no support. And let me tell you something, New Yorkers. Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City.
There is no city in America greater than New York City. It's the home of everything that you need. If you like sports, they got the Yankees and the Mets. If you like football, they're terrible, but they got the Giants and the Jets. And of course, New York is the home of hip hop, and as you know, Wall Street and stocks. Everything is in the Big Apple, including migrants. That's right, New York City is a sanctuary city being dominated by all sorts of debauchery in the Big Apple.
A pair of migrants have been arrested in a suburban Buffalo area accused of crimes. The latest arrest happening over the weekend, the second in as many weeks. Officials there are now calling for a complete stop on the transportation of migrants to the Buffalo area, while immigration advocates in Western New York say the actions of two men are not representative of the hundreds that have been sent there from New York City over the past 2 months.
Rewind! But you can't have it without a mayor that is complicit. And of course, it doesn't really matter who the mayor is. I mean, just look at all the other black cities that we may have. We know about Brandon Johnson in Chicago, and then there's Tiffany Hingard in Dalton, and then there's Latoya Cantrell in New Orleans. All of them are Democratic mayors that are being pushed to do certain things. And of course, if something happens to them, we all know what they're gonna say. Well, that's what you get for electing a black mayor. And Eric Adams was no different. You know, Eric Adams was a former Republican, former police officer, and, you know, people really didn't like how he was running the city. He was really on the migrant side, although a lot of folks in Black Harlem and all over the city despised him for what was going on.
You know what else I discovered at that, when I spoke with them? Some of them were engineers. Some of them were mechanics. They were professionals. And they only wanted one thing. They said, we want to work. We want to work. What is more anti-American than coming to America and you can't work? That's what we all should be talking about. This is so anti-American that someone can come to our country. People want to say 6 months. It's not 6 months. You could be here for almost 2 years and you're told that you can't work. All of us, all of our ancestors came somewhere. Think about if your ancestors were unable to work when they came to America. Think about it.
But instead of being the nation's most hated mayor besides Brandon Johnson, Eric Adams continued on being the mayor. Because, I mean, you know, probably wasn't going to get reelected anyway, but he kept on being the mayor, living in a delusional world that most politicians do. But then something happened that was strange.
But first, we're following some breaking news. A sprawling federal investigation tonight focusing on senior officials in New York City Mayor Adams' administration. Agents searched the homes of several top aides, and they subpoenaed the cell phones of top NYPD officials. And tonight, we get reaction from the mayor himself.
So people started falling in his administration. And of course, people were asking the mayor to resign because, hey, when the feds come after you, they come after you. And then, well, they actually came after Eric Adams himself. And these allegations are cringe.
This case isn't even a real case. This is the airline upgrade corruption case.
According to the indictment, Mayor Adams sought and accepted improper gifts, like more than $100,000 in luxury travel and illegal campaign contributions from wealthy foreign business people, and at least one Turkish government official in exchange for his political influence.
There are no emails, text messages, or any corroboration whatsoever that the mayor knew about anything having to do with these campaign donations. The next week, we'll be filing a motion to dismiss. We expect these charges to be dismissed.
Now, the mayor has decided to respond to these claims, and you're going to be shocked at who he blames.
My fellow New Yorkers, it is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes. If so, these charges will be entirely false, based on lies. But they would not be surprising. I always knew that if I stood my ground for all of you, that I would be a target. And a target I became. For months, leaks and rumors have been aimed at me in an attempt to undermine my credibility and paint me as guilty. Just this past week, they searched the home of our new police commissioner, looking for documents from 20 years ago, just 1 week after he joined my administration. Enough. I will fight these injustices with every ounce of my strength and my spirit. If I'm charged, I know I am innocent. I will request an immediate trial so the New Yorkers can hear the truth. New Yorkers know my story. They know where I come from. I have been fighting injustice my entire life. That fight has continued as your mayor. Despite our pleas, when the federal government did nothing as its broken immigration policies overloaded our shelter system with no relief, I put the people of New York before party and politics. Now, if I am charged, many may say I should resign because I cannot manage the city while fighting the case. I can also understand how everyday New Yorkers will be concerned that I cannot do my job while I face accusation. But I have been facing these lies for months.
So as you see, the mayor is saying that because he's standing up for New Yorkers, standing up against the migrant crisis, that the federal government is after him. But we've seen plenty of times where the mayor has been on the side of migrants.
Let me just take your imagination for a moment. If we had a migrant and asylum seeker plan that states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard.
I mean, the mayor is lying. The mayor is fake, right? He allegedly was receiving funds from Turkey, cutting political deals. Some of the folks in his staff was getting deals, illegal deals or bribes from New York City nightclubs. And now we see New York City is in a lot of trouble. And this is what the Democrats kind of do all the time. It's always a lot of trouble, always a lot of chaos. And then I feel bad for Black New Yorkers, especially those who are residents of Harlem and Queens, to see, it's already expensive living there. Section 8 program in New York has not even really revitalized itself yet, but now you have migrants living in these housings and things like that. And to be fair, if the mayor is convicted of this, he says he won't step down. Yeah, it'll be his fault. But he's trying to blame the federal government for doing these things. Well, who's in charge of the federal government? It's Joseph Biden and Kamala Harris. Those are the people that had this idea to let migration come in legally or illegally, and then to push them all the way to New York City, which is a sanctuary city. And this is what you get. If you are in Black leadership as a Democratic mayor or anything, you're going to be the footstool of what they do. Is going to come down and look at you. And once they get through with your ass, then they'll just replace you with somebody else while your career is destroyed. This is what you see happen with Black Democrats all the time. They take the fall for somebody else. Now, I'm not saying that he's not at fault. I don't know. But Eric Adams was not going to become the mayor of New York City again. He's asinine. He would never be reelected again. Brandon Johnson is never going to be reelected again. And the reason why they want a black face as the mayor is to go ahead and say, well, hey, these African American mayors are just not competent. They just can't do the job. When in reality, they don't really have much of a choice. If the federal government says we're sending these migrants there, you don't have a choice. Even Texas, which is a Republican state, had to accept these migrants. They just shipped them on down to the East Coast and down to Illinois. The reality is Eric Adams is bought and paid for. He doesn't care about the black community, even though blacks supported him, thought he was going to be different. He's no different than Brandon Johnson. He's no different than Tiffany Hingham. A lot of black people don't want to admit this. A lot of the woke, left-leaning black people, African Americans and all that, but I'm going to tell you something right now. From the bottom of my heart, you guys are on your own. We have to understand that, okay? I don't know why you feel that Democratic policies are going to help you. They are not. I can't tell you what any other party can do for you. But what I can tell you for sure is a voting Democrat is going to hurt you like no other. Immigration coming into America is rising unemployment. Democratic immigration is helping rising unemployment in the United States. It's making it more dangerous. It's making it more vile. It's making it more everything negative for African Americans in the United States. And you can thank the guys like Eric Adams for helping you on that sellout mission. Now they got what they wanted from his ass. Now he's about to be out of there. And that's exactly how they want to treat us. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, L.C. Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of Fair Use. I'm out.